Hello guys, it is Dread Scoper here, and I'm going to bring you guys basically just a video on what I would do to improve my career. Now, I understand that this is pretty hard to do because no matter what you do, there's going to be downsides, and I think there's ways to just minimize them. And yeah, I think one of the main themes of this video is going to be getting rid of unnecessary things. You know, things that either limit the player to doing things or things that, you've already done it and there's no need to do it again and just stuff like that. So the first thing I want to talk about is the archetype, and there's been a huge amount of dislike from the community. I'm pretty sure I went through the forums, and that was one of the biggest things I've seen was why is this archetype even a thing? Now, one of the reasons it is a thing is because people were able to make, these 7-foot point guards, and basically they would go online, and there was no reason to have centers or really just any other position because you just be a 7-foot point guard, and it really wasn't like fun because you're a 7-foot point guard that can block like Shaquille O'Neal, but yet you can move, faster than John Wall and Russell Westbrook, and it was a little unrealistic, and I think that's what we want, or at least that's what I want. I want a realistic, person that I can play with. But I also don't, want to play with someone that's at the same level of JJ Redick. Um, I want someone, you want to be on the same level as LeBron James, maybe even a little bit better. Maybe you make LeBron James, but he can shoot a little bit better. Or maybe you make Russell Westbrook and he can shoot a little bit better. Or maybe you make, Michael Jordan, but maybe he has a little bit better post defense. So I think there's, that should be somewhat the goal, I think, for 2K. And this is not the way they're going to do it. And I think they understand. Hopefully they understand. I don't know what they think because we don't understand. No one knows in the community what they're doing to fix this stuff. So basically, one of the things I heard on YouTube from another YouTuber, I think, and I thought of this myself, was, well, wait a second. You're only able to pick one archetype. And if you're only able to pick one, thing that you could specialize in, then you're just going to be, a role player. You're just going to be a JJ Redick. You're not going to be a LeBron James. So I thought to myself, well, what if we pick a secondary archetype? So maybe we pick athletic finisher. As the first archetype, so you're able to shoot with layups. You're able to, get a whole bunch of agility in there. And then you're also, able to, play a little bit of solid defense. But then maybe for your secondary archetype, maybe you pick 3-point shooting. So you're an athletic finisher and a 3-point shooter. And then maybe your stats vary. Maybe your layups and dunks come down maybe a couple. Maybe it goes down 3, 4, 5. So now your max of layups and dunks can only be 20. But maybe your 3-pointer goes up to, let's say, 17, 18, 20. So you have an athletic finisher and a 3-point shooter, and you're a very balanced, very, solid shooter and scorer, but maybe you're not an insane, okay, all I do is finish and all I do is shoot threes, but I can do both, just not as well as the people that specialize in those. So I think there should be an option to choose secondary things. So such as you don't need to choose it. Maybe you only want to be an athletic finisher and you want to get that 25 layup and dunk. That's great. That's maybe you just want to dunk like Vince Carter and that's it. Then all you do is you choose athletic finisher and your dunks and agility and all this stuff. That's going to be insane. That's going to be your thing and you are going to do better than everybody else at that. But for the players that want to get more balance, maybe they pick their secondary thing as 3-point shooting, and they say, okay, well, in order to become a better 3-point shooter, you take away from some of the layups and dunks that you can do, and maybe you're not as fast because you're shooting threes, so, maybe the agility comes down to 23, 22, 21, and your 3-point shooting goes up to, let's say, 17 or 18. You become a lot more balanced player. You become a very, lethal threat on offense. And then maybe your defense and rebounding and strength is not going to be very good. But, maybe you pick a third thing, and I think 3 is where it needs to stop. I think you can pick probably around 3 archetypes that you can choose. Your first one's going to be the main one. So if you want to be, an athletic finisher, you're going to be, your dunk stats are going to be the highest stats of your thing. And then the second one, let's say you pick 3-point shooter. Okay, well, your 3-point shooting comes up to about, maybe a little bit above average. Maybe it comes up to like a B. Okay, but your dunks are an A. And then your third stat's probably going to be like around your second stat, where let's say I pick defending. All right, well then defending, right here, maybe defending goes up to 20. And maybe, strength goes down, or maybe rebounding goes down, maybe playmaking goes down, because, when you're scoring a lot and you're defending a lot, you might not be able to, make a whole bunch of plays. So maybe playmaking goes down to 10, and then defending goes up to like 20. So I think that you can pick a whole bunch of archetypes that change the stats of these players so that you're not all just playing with the same player. When you go online and you just have a maxed out player, you're all playing with the same player, and it's almost not as fun because you don't have the same feeling. It's not your player, it's the player that 2K created for you, and you're just playing him. But if you can say, you know what, for me, I like to shoot threes, but then I also want to be able to score in the post. Not a lot of people do that. You have people like Dirk, but, how many other people are going to be like, I'm going to shoot threes and score in the post? I think that would be great, because I think people would be able to customize their players based off what they want to do, and then they can bring it into, my park or my, pro-am, whatever. I don't know how those work because I don't play them. But you could bring it into those games, and you can be like, I can do this stuff really well. And when everyone starts playing their own, personal, players, that's when I think it would be really fun. But I also think that they shouldn't just have 25 everything as the stats. I think that, every time you want to add a new, ability, you should also have some abilities taken away. So hopefully that makes sense. That's how I would do it. Just because, you want to play as if you are 99 overall. You want to play in the same tier as LeBron James, Michael Jordan, however you feel about those guys. They're top tier players of all time. You can't debate that. So you want to be able to play like those guys. And, right at this moment you can't. You're a 70 overall. You're not playing with those guys. You're nowhere near those guys. So hopefully that's my opinion on this. The badges, I don't know too much about the badges, but I feel like, they should almost have secret missions with them where, if you want to get posterizer, you have to dunk over someone with 90 block, 20 times. You can get bronze posterizer or something like that. And then you can upgrade it with VC, or you have to keep dunking on people with 90 block. Something along those lines where you earn it by actually doing what the badge says. If you're a posterizer, you dunk on people. You're dunking on everybody. And, you have to earn that badge instead of just buying it. So I kind of like the idea of earning it. So yeah, and I think that gives a little bit of a grind too, where you're going up against people with 90 block, and you want to dunk all over these guys, and I think it could be pretty fun. So anyways, guys, that's my view on this. Mainly because I think I have a decent idea of how it should go. But again, no one's going to really see this video too much, so probably not going to get too much stuff done. Let's see. Okay, and another thing is allow the players to kind of skip the college part. It was kind of fun the first time I did it with my power forward. You're going through college, and you pick your college, and you're having fun, and you play 4 games, and it's decent. You get to destroy everybody like it should be in the NBA. But then you get to the point where you create your second person. I created my point guard, and then I got to the point where I was like, well, I really don't want to grind these games anymore. I've already grinded. I've already done the work. Maybe they can put in something where it's like, okay, you've already made it. You've already done the college experience with one player, so we're going to allow you to go from high school to the pros. I know it's not really a thing anymore, but let's just say that, that's how this game works. It's a video game. You can kind of create that thing. That way people don't have to, do this stuff. Because there's a lot of people that I think I've heard on the forums that are just like, hey, I'm literally just fouling out that's what I did. And, people are just fouling out of games, on the, whatchamacallit, on the college level. You're just you just get 6 straight fouls, you foul out. You get picked by I got picked 20th, I think, by the Celtics, and that's fine. You get put on a better team, you get through the college experience faster. I think they should allow for people to kind of get through the college experience. Just have like a skip button and just say, all right, you already did it. You don't need to do this anymore. Same thing with all the other stories. Especially in the beginning when you just create your player. They go through this I think it's 15 minutes. I know I timed it in one of my videos. It's 10 to 15 minutes or something, where you just sit there and you listen to Kobe talk, and it's it gets old after the 4th time. It's great. I understand it's Kobe Bryant. He's great. He's gonna lace up his shoes because we're gonna all beat his records and everything. So I just hope that they kind of give the players an option to be like, all right, I don't want to listen to these things anymore. So maybe we can get rid of them. All right. Same thing. And then the other thing was that what is going on with this? Does it just not like me? All right, fantastic. The other thing was when you upgrade your player, I would say you don't want to. I know I just talked about the tiers of where your player stops improving with agility's at 25 and all this stuff. I would actually get rid of those, but replace it with another system, because I'll show you guys in a moment. Some of these don't actually make any sense. Once this thing loads, this is another thing I really could care less about. You know what I mean? I don't care about this stuff. Alright, fantastic. So here we go. We're going to go into my player, my attributes boost right off the bat. This first one right here. It is shot close. What is it? What's my actual score? Alright. Off triple shot mid-range, off triple shot 3. Now, shot close and off dribble shot 3 are 2 completely different stats. I don't understand why those 2 would be put in the same category. I think that shot close and layups are put in the same category, and maybe standing dunks are put in the same category with those. But shot close, I would just get rid of all these things, and basically what I would do is just go back to the days where you could upgrade your stats individually. So your driving layup is separate from your standing layup. There are people that have great standing layup, but they don't have good driving layup. It's kind of like, I believe Vince Carter, if he was in this game, I think he is in this game now. His driving layup's somewhere around 99, obviously, but his standing dunk is 65. Let us, customize our characters the way we want to customize them. Limit our characters so they don't get too overpowered. So you're not just playing against 7-foot point guards that can block people. Limit it so that stuff doesn't happen. But don't limit us from creating a point guard that can drive like Russell Westbrook, shoot like JJ Redick, and then, well, not shoot like JJ Redick, that might be a bad example, but shoot the ball, with a B. I don't even know who shoots the ball at 3-point anymore that has a B. But I'm saying, allow it so that people can create these superstars that they want to create. Obviously you're not going to be good at everything, but that shouldn't mean that you're going to only be good at one thing. And allow them to, maybe I only want standing dunk. Maybe that's all I want. And I don't want to do the driving dunk or even contact dunk. I just want standing dunk and that's it. Granted, that's not going to work out, but that's what I want. And maybe if I go online, maybe I can make it viable because I have an idea in my head of how I'm going to use it. So I think you should get rid of the fact that all these categories are basically like together. This right here, contested mid-range shot and open mid-range shot. This one's fine. It could be worse. I'm not going to complain about that. The three-point shooting one is once it shows up because my thing is a little slow. Contested shot 3 and open shot 3. I mean, basically that's the same, you know. That's basically how that's gonna go. Post scoring, maybe you get rid of the fact it's, you know, maybe you change it so it's not just post, or you change it so post fade and post hook are two different things. You know, some people don't want to do post hook; they just want to do post fades. They don't want to pay for the post hook. You know, so split it up. Um, fair enough. We'll see about that. So I guess that's all I'm like saying is that here with agility, speed, acceleration, vertical. Vertical has nothing to do with your. Could be worse. Yeah, just splitting these things up, I guess. See, this is what I would like: strength. That's it. You're buying strength, and that's it. You know, instead of buying rebounding, you know, what if strength was in this one? It would cost more. That's what I'm saying. Hopefully that makes sense. If this was in here and I tried to upgrade this once, see how it's 1,000? Now strength, if I increase strength once, it would be 657. If strength was in the rebounding one, strength would be 657 more VC, then maybe I don't want to spend that VC on that. You know what I'm saying? So hopefully 2K can see this video at some point, and I think I brought up some good points. And if they don't change anything, hopefully they just explain themselves. Because there are other games I've played now where the developers are actually coming out and they explain themselves. And when they explain it, it actually makes a good amount of sense. They explain why they're doing this stuff, they talk about why they aren't doing this stuff, and when they explain it, it's like, wow, that makes sense. Thank you for explaining yourselves. And it's really cool. It's really cool that they take time out of their day to do that stuff. So I think that's really it so far. No. One more thing. I made a point guard on the Boston Celtics. Okay. So I want you guys to let me go to him. Let me just quickly go to him. You know what? No, that's gonna take way too much time. Let me go to I'm gonna go to. If I play as a point guard, I'm the point guard. Every team in this league has a good point guard. Okay? Every team in this, or 99% of the teams in this league have a good point guard. I'm the point guard. I'm on the Celtics, so Isaiah Thomas is the point guard. Okay? You have Marcus Smart, who is a young guard who is upcoming. He is a point guard. You now have Isaiah, no, it was me, Isaiah Thomas, Marcus Smart. Oh, and you get Justice Young as the point guard because that's the position he plays, so good luck. Oh, and while we're at it, we're going to give you another point guard that's, yeah, he's like a free, he really is pointless to the game, I think. You eventually get rid of him because he goes to the D-League because he's trash. What's the point of playing with all these point guards? There's literally 5 point guards on this team. Once this screen freaking loads, it's like, why would I play with 5 point guards? It basically demoralizes me because when I want to play as a point guard, I've played in the small forward position and I'm 6 feet tall. Our team gets destroyed because you guys make Justice Young a point guard no matter what. What I would say is allow it so that you can pick what position Justice Young plays. If I'm a point guard, I don't need him to be a point guard. I need him to be either a power forward, a center, a small forward. I know that doesn't make sense in real life because you can't change people. But this is a video game and sometimes you can make these things happen. Where is the team stats here? No. Can we okay, we have 1 point guard, 2, 3. Justice Young went to a shooting guard. I can't click on it. 4, 5, 6. So we actually have 6 point guards on our team because Justice Young is actually a point guard. The way I can tell you guys that is because he's still like 6'0". Once I find him, he's a shooting guard. Let's go find him. Wow, look how good he's doing. You want to know why he's doing this great, 2K? It's because did I pass him? Jesus, is he really this far down? You want to know why he's doing this great? Because we have 6 point guards on the team. He's not, but where is he? Where did he go? James Harden, DeRozan, McCollum. You guys get the point. You guys understand that it's annoying. It's annoying to play because I'm the point guard and Justice Young sometimes is the small forward. That doesn't make any sense. Okay? Allow us to at least pick his position and nothing else. Just his position, and then he gets the basic stats of that position. That's how I would change that. There's literally no downside to that. That's only the offline mode, so you get to customize, how your team is a little bit offline. And it's stupid. Now I've made to the point, where we trade Justice or get rid of what's his dick. But basically, it's like it's no, it's not fun in the beginning, and it's kind of annoying. So hopefully you guys, hopefully you enjoy the in the video. Hopefully 2K at least gets some ideas, and hopefully they do something about it because. At the end of the day, I don't think they mean to make a crappy game. They just want it. They seem like a very controlling group of people that they don't want, the community to, they want it their way. If it's not their way, then, you don't get to have it. They don't do what's best for the community, and hopefully they can, understand that this is what the community wants, and at some point, it's just going to get too annoying to play this game because there's a lot of little things that they don't do right. There's a lot of things they do wrong. It's annoying, and it's easily fixable if they were to just listen to the community. Okay? So, I think I made this video pretty respectfully. I think I respected 2K. So hopefully in return they can listen, and that's all I really want. Thank you guys for watching. And I will see you guys in the next video. See ya.